Now that the love is gone, what are we supposed to do? After all that we've been through, when everything that felt so right is wrong. Now that the love is gone, what are we supposed to do?
Hey, I'm here with Chris Willis. How are you doing, Chris?
Good, Mike. How are you?
Oh, doing real well. Now, Chris, you've got a new single out.
Yes, the single out now is called Love Is Gone, and it seems to be taking over the airwaves and doing really well, and I'm happy about that.
Now, you were just doing K-Fest, and I understand you're getting...
K-Fest last night, incredible, roasting in the sun, but good.
Now, I was looking at your upcoming tour schedule, and I gotta say, I was scratching my head. Philadelphia and Russia, all in the same month.
Yeah, you know, that's been the story of my life for the past 8 years, but it's really good. I mean, once you get past flying over the water and the turbulence and everything, it's really quite a good experience.
Now, is there any shot of a New York show?
Not this trip, but I'm sure sometime in the recent future. I think we did a show not too long ago in New York, but not this time.
Now, do you want to talk a little bit about your background? You know, what your influences are, how you got to this point?
Well, basically my influences in music have been brought from Stevie Wonder to the Clark Sisters to the Winans to... My favorite singer of all time is Donny Hathaway, Michael Jackson. You put it all together, you know, we're so lucky to be in America to have so many great musical influences to choose from. So those are a few of those. And I started out in gospel, and that was a really good kind of 12 to 15 year journey. But I felt like there were some things I wanted to pursue in other genres, and as a byproduct of that, we landed in house music and dance music, so that's where we are now.
Now, I was noticing in your bio that you've worked with a wide variety of people, ranging from Kenny Rogers to some of the American Idols. Now, I have to ask, what did you do with Kenny and Dolly?
As a matter of fact, you know, as quiet as it's kept, a lot of times when you do a lot of background sessions, the artists are never even there. So it sounds nice that you've collaborated with these people, but we usually do there's usually a group of background singers singing in the studio, and then they add the lead voice after.
Ah, okay, okay. Did you actually get to meet any of the idols?
I did actually meet Clay Aiken. I've never met Kelly Clarkson. I've actually met Ricky Martin. I've met BB and CC. I actually met Shania Twain in one session we were doing for her on her Christmas album. She was there. Let's see, what other celebrities? I could go on.
Oh, no worries with that. Work with Desmond Child.
You know, working with Desmond was a life-changing experience. I've been in Nashville, like I said, for a long time, and was introduced to Desmond by a collaborator, fellow songwriter, friend of mine, and I was at a crossroads in my career, so work with Desmond came at a really, really, really good time, and I learned so much from just watching Desmond's interaction with artists and his staff and his team, and I think it really prepared me for what I'm doing now.
Well, you know, I've noticed you've got some production credits, and I mean, really, what goes into the whole production? And I'm going into more of the Desmond Childs. He's been a hit maker for so many people.
Yeah, my involvement with Desmond was way more on the vocal production side. So it involves just kind of steering the voice in a way so that it, you know, basically pleases the producer, and hopefully in that regard it pleases the listener. I really like producing. It's a really, really difficult job because it's very involved, very time consuming. There's a lot of editing involved, and the beauty of it is with the digital marketplace, you can take so many lavish risks and chances where before you had just tape, so you had to get it right the first time or the second time, or there was millions of takes. So I think the production part was a great eye-opener for me as an artist and a writer, because it gave me a chance to see behind the scenes how to become a better singer and a better writer and a better producer.
Wonderful. Now, how did you hook up with David Guetta?
David Guetta and his wife owned several businesses in Paris, and I was lucky to be involved and work with one of his friends, and we had a mutual introduction, and David was looking to involved some writers and singers on a project that he was working on, and he invited me to the studio the day after we met to collaborate on a track and just to see if we vibed, and we wrote Just a Little More Love, and that, I think, was the beginning of a really, really fruitful partnership. So 3 albums later, here I am.
Wonderful. Now, what's the Atlanta scene like? And I mean, just as context, I know there's a lot of music coming out of New York, but most of the dance clubs have been shut down.
Yeah, well, that's really sad to hear, but Atlanta, as quiet as it's kept, or maybe it's very well known, is fairly well known for a lot of hip-hop and R&B. So I mainly just love being in Atlanta because it's a great place to live. I have lots of family and friends there. I haven't been as involved in the music scene, mainly because I've been on the road so much, traveling back and forth to Europe, which is great. But I always love living in a city where there's a lot of music. When I lived in New York, it was great to feel the energy and the vibe of the city in New York, even though I was traveling quite a bit then. Because it helps you to find work and create music that will compete in the marketplace. So I love Atlanta. I think I'm becoming the poster child for Atlanta. I love it that much.
Well, that sounds good. Is there anything you want to, that's really all the questions I had, so are there anything you want to say and wrap up?
Well, I just want to encourage all the viewers and listeners to check out my site on MySpace, myspace.com/Chris Willis Music, and look for the album on iTunes. The title of the album is Pop Life. You can buy the whole album, or you can get the single, which is Love Is Gone. And we have a few more songs to come, and in a few months, hopefully available will be Tomorrow Can't Wait. And my name is Chris Willis, and I'm hoping to meet you and to chat with you at a live performance in the near future.
Thanks, Chris.